Good morning, everyone. Let's call the meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, November the 17th, 2020. It's 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Thursday, November 12th, 2020 at 4 p.m.
Thank you. Let's pause briefly for a moment of silence, and then we'll have the pledge to the flags. This is a pledge to Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I think we have one public comment. So, is the caller on the line, Mr. Courage?
He's calling right now.
Okay.
Hello?
Mr. Courage,
Yes.
this is Judge Scott Felton. How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm doing just fine.
Okay, you're in the public comment portion of the agenda this morning, so
Yes.
You're welcome to make a comment.
It won't take me long to read this.
Okay.
I'm Kevin Courage. I own the property of 164 Redfish Lane, a private road, not a county road, at Trading House Lake. 4 weeks ago, on October the 20th, I was placed on the county commissioner's agenda and spoke about the many issues at my place in the 1.3-acre flood stage property at the end of Redfish Lane. Since then, I have not heard a word from anyone. I want to know why. I also want to know why the sheriff's office doesn't forward witness statements to the DA for prosecution. I want to know why my non-existent county commissioner of Precinct 2 has not returned my phone calls in over 2 years, as she stated on October 20th in your meeting. That's why I turned to the 3 other commissioners for help. I want to know why Danny Tate put a park sign from the upper end of the lake below my property, then tells me I put this sign here specifically for you, which you later took credit for. Why does everyone up and down the shoreline from my place have peace but me? Scott Felton feeds deer at his place. Why does Danny Tate and Scott Felton befriend the well-known crime family on Redfish Lane that has threatened and harassed me for years? Why did Scott Felton interfere with my business deal to either purchase from or have a licensed agreement with Luminant on the 1.3-acre flood stage at the end of Redfish Lane? This triggered the 180-acre park grab. My neighbor and City of Hallsburg Mayor, Michael Glockson, told me about the corrupt politics at Trading House Lake. County Commissioner Jones advised me to go public with this, he quotes, corruption in our initial conversation. The State Bar of Texas has advised me they have the power to investigate a corrupt courthouse and have sent grievance forms to me. A reporter from the Waco Tribune-Herald has heard my complaints and is anxious to put my story on the front page of a Sunday paper when I'm ready, just as Patricia Miller has. That's all I have to say this morning.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next is, we have a proclamation this morning. This is under item D1, a proclamation recognizing and honoring Miss Kathy Van Wolf for 24 years of service to McLennan County. And Kathy, if I could, Kathy's in our audience, socially distanced. And we will, I'll read this proclamation, and then after the proclamation, Commissioner Perry, who's in the court, and myself will come forward and present it to you, and like to get a photograph of that when I'm completed here. Whereas this is a proclamation of the Commissioner's Court of McLennan County of Texas recognizing and honoring Ms. Kathy Van Wolf for 24 years of service to McLennan County. Whereas Ms. Kathy E. Van Wolf wraps up 24-year career serving the citizens of McLennan County as Elections Administrator on November the 30th, 2020. And whereas since September the 3rd, 1996, Ms. Van Wolf has provided us with professionalism, integrity, dedication, dependability, and leadership through 92 election cycles, inclusive of federal, state, county, and contracts with city and school elections. And whereas in 1980, Ms. Van Wolf earned a Bachelor's of Business Administration from Texas State University, formerly known as Southwest Texas State, and a career path as a bank inspector, but began working various campaigns and found her true calling in elections. Prior to serving McLennan County, she served as Assistant Elections Administrator in Fort Bend County from 1991 to 1996. And whereas Ms. Van Wolf has been actively engaged in professional organizations, including the Election Center and Texas Association of Election Administrators. She served as president of the Texas Association of Election Administrators. And whereas Ms. Van Wolf's accomplishments include providing leadership and commitment to fairness and integrity to the electoral process, she led and trained as many as more than 300 election workers and volunteers. She successfully brought innovative technology to the office and the citizens of McLennan County. And whereas Ms. Van Wolf has performed her duties as she has described the job of elections administrator, in quote, "You must do the job in a professional, consistent manner for the good of the McLennan County citizens who you are serving, and the right choices be made in every circumstances." So now therefore be it proclaimed that the Commissioner's Court of McLennan County wish to congratulate, honor, and recognize Ms. Kathy Van Wolf for 24 years of service and dedication to McLennan County citizens, and wish her the best in her retirement. And be it further proclaimed that a copy of this proclamation be made a permanent part of the minutes of the Commissioner's Court, whereas witnessed our hand and seal this 17th day of November 2020 by Scott M. Felton, County Judge, Kelly Snell, Commissioner Precinct 1, Patricia Miller, Commissioner Precinct 2, and Will Jones, Commissioner Precinct 3, Ben Perry, Commissioner Precinct 4, and signed by Mercedes McGowan for Deputy County Clerk. And so after reading this, I would be open to a motion to approve this proclamation.
Motion to approve.
there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, Kathy, I'm gonna put my mask on and ask Commissioner Perry to join me. Somebody will have to put a footnote under this picture to say who was standing there. Okay, let's put our backs this way.
Okay.
That way we'll have the flags in
Thank you very much.
there. Thank you. Would you like to say anything before? If you, there's a microphone.
Sure. I certainly appreciate this proclamation. It's been a joy to serve the community and the citizens of McClellan County. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Okay, this time, I've asked Dustin to cover the agenda item by item, and we have some jumping around to do on the agenda to be able to take our guests that are here to, who've joined us for several presentations. So Dustin?
Yes, sir. So if it's all right, we'll go down to item N1, discussion and or action on matters regarding COVID-19. Elizabeth, would you mind giving the court an update, please?
Of course. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Our surge testing project continues to move forward. We're doing a lot of testing right now. With the increase in cases, we are seeing a big increase in our testing numbers. Yesterday, for example, at our Antioch drive-through testing site, we tested 593 people. And then at Stella Maxi with our new mobile aardvark unit, we tested 90, bringing that daily total to 683 yesterday. And our cumulative total to 20,236. So with that number in mind, we are strongly encouraging anybody who does need to get tested that go to our testing sites to please register beforehand if possible. It makes the process a little bit faster. It makes it easier to get in and out to get your test done as quickly and efficiently as we can make that process go.
I will say that I went through the testing, and it was very simple and easy. It was kind of the spur of the moment thing, and so when I pulled up there, I said, I haven't registered, I'll pull over to the side here, and they said, no, come on through. And we were registered in no time, and it's a saliva test, so there's no pain associated with the test, and I got my results back in, I think a little less than 30 hours, which I was pleased with. So thank you for the report. Any questions for Elizabeth? Okay. Is there a motion to approve that report for recording purposes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, moving on to item J1. This is regarding the capital improvements for Cameron Park Zoo, authorization of permit set of plans for the Hoofstock barn. As the court might remember, in our interlocal agreement with the city of Waco, the plans and specifications for each phase of the project are to come to Commissioner's Court for approval, and once that approval is obtained, the city may proceed with the project. So with that, we've got representatives from the zoo on the line that would like to go over this permit set with the court. So I'll turn it over to Chris, Terry, and Johnny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge Felton and County Commissioners. My name is Chris Van Skyke, and today we are presenting a brief overview of our progress on the Cameron Park Zoo expansion project that's funded by a $14.5 million county bond and $1.2 million in Zoological Society funds. The court received a full set of plans for our Hoofstock barn renovation on Wednesday, November 11th. Today, we'll highlight some of the more prominent aspects of the barn, and in addition, we'll update the court on the other two main components of the expansion project. Next slide, please.
Give me a moment. For some reason, it's not changing slides.
There we go.
Yeah.
So in this slide, you see the location of the two other projects and the conceptual renderings for each. The RFQs have gone out for the Education Veterinary Complex, and we received 20 submittals of qualifications, which we're in the process of reviewing. And City Council has approved using a construction manager at risk method of delivery for the Penguin Shores exhibit, and we're also moving forward with the RFQs for that project. Next, I'd like to introduce our Deputy Director, Mr. Johnny Binder, and he's going to take us through some of the details on our Hoofstock barn project. Johnny?
Thank you, Chris. Good morning, everyone. Our original plan was to skeletonize the existing barn and rebuild it with an additional 2 natural substrate stalls. But after meeting with the architects, we found it would be more cost effective to demolish the existing structure and build a completely new barn. This allowed us to make some significant changes that will greatly improve the barn for pest control and animal husbandry, such as CMU block wall construction and a modified roof design. Here you see a north view of the Hoofstock barn, which faces the exhibit yard and where the animals will enter and exit the stalls. The second view of the barn is the east view. The first door is for loading and unloading animals, and the second door is the keeper access door into the service areas. Both of these drawings provide a view of the most significant change from the existing barn design. Instead of a pitched roof, we went with a clear story roof line. This allows much more natural light with a translucent panel that runs the entire length of the barn. Slide, please. This is the floor plan of the new facility. The left side is basically the same as the layout in our original Hoofstock barn, with a keeper service corridor along the front and 6 animal stalls. The first stall is equipped with a movable wall on an overhead track system that acts as a squeeze chute to secure animals for medical procedures. All stall doors line up with the squeeze chute and are opened remotely from the keeper corridor with a pulley and cable system. Along the front of the barn are 3 separate storage closets accessible from the service road, but not from the barn interior. These are for hay, animal husbandry and enrichment supplies, as well as a water heater closet. On the right side of the screen, you can see the detached quarantine building with the additional 2 natural substrate stalls. This building can be used for sick or injured animals or birthing stalls and new animals being acclimated to our herd. The far stall has the capability of installing pads to the walls. The two buildings have separate HVAC systems, and they are connected by a transfer chute. Slide, please. Both the interior squeeze chute and the exterior transfer chute are equipped with a treatment door that will allow the veterinary and animal care staff to safely provide medical treatments to the various Hoofstock species that will inhabit this barn. On the left, you can see an exterior view of the door, which has 9 individual treatment panels or 3 panels that can be isolated and opened as one single unit. You can see 3 of the 9 smaller panels that open individually highlighted in red. The yellow highlighted area shows how the individual panels can be secured closed. One large panel can be opened. The interior of the door is padded with a rubber mat. Chris, slide please.
Thank you, Johnny. We've had some slight delays due to COVID, but we feel this project schedule is accurate. If the plans are approved today, bids should go out December 1. After bids are received and approved, construction will begin in early February, and the project should take approximately 7 months. We had planned to move our kudu antelope to Fossil Rim this month in order for them to reside there for the duration of the construction. However, during the pre-shipment medical exam, we found that one of the kudu cows was pregnant, and she actually gave birth this past Saturday. So that could delay the start date of the construction by a couple of weeks. We do want to make sure that the calf is healthy and strong before schedule moving him to make sure he is not injured during transport. Next slide, please. Okay, this is our last slide. This slide shows the architectural fees and the estimated costs of the Hoofstock barn. Again, these are estimated probable costs. Of course, we'll not have the actual costs until the project goes to bid. The original amount that was budgeted for this portion of the expansion project is $375,000. And on the estimated probable cost at the bottom, you will see that we have included 2 bid alternates. So we're going to see how the bids come back, and if funds are available, we have 2 add alternates, one for replacing some chain link fencing, which is original to the site, and a second to provide some poured in place rubber flooring in the 6 animal stalls that are not natural substrate. And that concludes our update. And at this time, we would be happy to entertain any questions that Judge Felton and the County Commission may have. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think congratulations are in order for the new calf.
Thank you.
So, are there any questions that the commissioners may have?
It's a good presentation.
Yeah, very good presentation.
Thank you.
All right. So is there if there's no questions, is there a motion to approve this report?
Motion to
And
approve.
Judge, it would actually be a motion to approve this set of to approve the plans for the Hoofstock barn.
Okay,
And I make a motion to approve the plans for the Hoofstock barn.
Second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Thank y'all very much. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
All right, moving on to M2 under elections. This is authorization of order approving the canvass for the November 3rd, 2020 joint general election. Kathy?
Morning again. You've all been given a order to sign approving the canvass and the list of precinct by precinct results, as well as the district reports and canvass reports for this election. And it was our highest turnout, 66% of the people voted in this election. So very happy that it's over, and very glad that we finished counting on election night.
Good deal. Good job.
Thanks.
All right. Are there any questions anyone have with Kathy? It was an unusual year. All right, is there a motion to approve the canvas for the November 3rd, joint general election.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you again for the proclamation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, moving on to item O, Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project. Under O1, we have an update from CP&Y. Daryl, you mind giving that update?
Not at all.
Good morning.
Good morning. How is everybody today?
Great.
Let's see. Here we go. Share my screen. And ultimately, just want to let you know that, yeah, things are proceeding on with all the projects. We do have just a few more left to knock out. To go over the first one on our list here, we do have a couple still in design, and that first one is the MHMR improvements for the building there. We did put that project out for bid. We did receive 3 bids on the project. There was a couple of very late questions from some of the prospective bidders. We did get out an addendum. Unfortunately, that addendum did not make it out until the morning of the day of the bids. And so, the county elected that not to necessarily publish those. However, 2 of the bidders did receive the information or used a bid form that we had included in this addendum, and 1 did not, which kind of put us in a bit of a sticky wicket, I guess you might say, with respect to what could potentially happen because of that. So we've elected to reject the 3 bids and rebid the project, and to level up the playing field. We've gone ahead and speaking with TJ and Dustin and whatnot, gone ahead and added to re-roof all elements of the building with the exception of the gym, because the county has already done that on their own, to level out that playing field once more and take the bids. The bids we received were favorable to the county and were below our opinion of probable construction cost. We just felt that it might be best to rebid the project so we could move forward. So essentially, the documents, I've got the specifications put back together, and I just need to go back through those one final time on a QA/QC, and then the drawings also are nearing completion, so we should be able to get this probably rebid shortly after the Thanksgiving break. So that's kind of where we are with that one. We did have 2 projects at the courthouse, both of which, I guess the first one here, which was the hardware modifications, due to COVID occurring, we've really never been able to get into the courthouse to do what needs to be done there. So we will need to extend the permits again. So we're reaching back out to the Texas Historical Commission to extend those permits one last time, and are looking forward to potentially just scheduling some time either with the facility staff to go into the building and to document the hardware on the doors. And ultimately, that's what the Historical Commission is looking for. The hardware itself is non-compliant, obviously, with current standards. And so we need to go into the courthouse, since it is a historical building, document what is currently there, what doors have what hardware on them now, and then the hardware can then be archived and stored, and then we can work towards replacing that hardware with ADA compliant hardware. So that's kind of where we are with the hardware modifications that are required under the DOJ report. The final one has to do with the grand jury room at the courthouse. The project was designed and then turned over to the county. The county constructed portions of that project, but the actual grand jury room was not constructed. And so they're re-engaging us to go ahead and wrap up the construction documents for that room. There is some plumbing associated with this particular portion of the project. And so again, we're working on getting everything finalized so we can get this one out to bid. And the opinion of probable construction cost is ongoing. Just a couple of issues that we wanted to make sure since Bruce's departure that we were clear on had to do with the access to this particular room is not ADA compliant, but we were putting a restroom in the room. So we were working on getting a reading to make sure that everything is okay. The project was reviewed by a local registered accessibility specialist the first time it was put together. And he had indicated that he did not have a problem with the restroom being up there as long as signage was provided indicating where an accessible restroom might be located. So, unfortunately, that RAS is no longer doing that type of work. And so we're just wanting to make sure that we have all our I's dotted and T's crossed before we actually get this one portion of it back out on the street. So, but we're working on making that happen as well. I do need to make sure that our specifications are up to date and that the drawing package is getting ready to go as well. So those are the three that we are currently have on the design side. Are there any questions on either of these three projects at this time?
Any questions? And basically, the issue on the doors are, I guess the effort it takes to open them and things like that are outside the limits of what ADA allows.
That's correct. It's they need us to go to lever sets, and most of the hardware are knobs, so they have a twisting issue with respect to those who may be arthritic or whatnot having issues with opening the doors. So
okay. All right. Any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve this report for recording purposes?
Yeah, if you want, we can go into the construction portion as well.
Go
just
ahead.
kind of give you an update. I was just going to go through everything that we have going on.
All right.
Bill Logue, we were anticipating that we would be doing a construction walkthrough on that project. Unfortunately, did run into a few issues with the anti-ligature toilet paper dispensers, and we had to change models for that. We do anticipate that they will be ready for us to come in and punch the project early next week now, as opposed to what we thought we were doing towards the end of last week. But it is, for all intents and purposes, complete. We just need to come through, put together the punch list so we can get the contractor paid his retainage and get you guys a certificate of substantial completion on the work for the Juvenile Justice Center. Extraco at the event center, basically all the bathroom work has been completed. The lighting in the restrooms looks tremendous, very, very bright in the restrooms now. I think they did an excellent job with putting all that together. And the work in the restrooms is complete. The contractor, Irwin, is starting the elevator work at this point in time. And so once the elevator work is completed, which I believe is scheduled currently for mid to late January, this project will then be, the rest of the project will be punched for the elevator, and we'll be ready to turn everything over to the county on that one as well. Any questions on the two projects that are in construction at this point?
Any questions? Okay.
All right, and then just a list of the projects that is either canceled or already completed. The vehicle maintenance, obviously just due to different changes in how y'all do things, we decided not to proceed with that particular project. JP4 is complete. Adult probation is complete. The temporary courtroom is complete. That was part of the other two courtroom projects. AgriLife construction was self-performed by the county, and that is also complete. 4D Court is complete. We'll have the 1-year warranty walkthrough scheduled for February. And then all the shelter locations and polling location surveys are also complete at this time. So that is the end of my report. If there are any questions, be happy to answer those for you.
Any questions?
And Judge, I did just want to remind the court that when the Department of Justice was here doing their initial walkthrough back in, gosh, I guess now that was 2011, they did not survey a few of our buildings. The records building was one of those, and that's something that CP&Y, when Bruce was still there, had done the walkthrough and had everything prepared. That's going to be one that we will need to turn our attention to kind of as we wrap up these others. Just wanted to make sure the court remembered that and was aware.
Okay. All right, if there's no questions or a motion to accept CP&Y's report for recording purposes.
So moved. Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller, Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
And Judge, I see Judge Hodges on the line, so if it's okay, if we could go to L1 regarding the Texas Indigent Commission Indigent Defense Improvement Grant Program, authorization of creation of the McLennan County Mental Health Managed Assigned Counsel Program Oversight Board and related matters. Judge Hodges? And Judge, you are on mute.
There we go. How's that?
Good.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
The indigent defense grant that we got, one of the requirements of that grant agreement is that we create an oversight board. And so we're proposing, and it has to be adopted and approved by the Commissioner's Court. And so the purpose of that is so that you don't want the judges who are appointing lawyers under this program, and particularly in this case, it's going to be me, but they don't want the judges to have complete control over the managed assigned counsel director, because they want them to operate independently so that they can properly supervise the attorneys, make sure that the attorneys are complying with the requirements of the program, make sure the attorneys are turning in their documentation, make sure that the attorneys know how to represent people with mental illness, and those kinds of things. And so they've had some situations, I guess, where the judges would put some pressure on the assigned counsel managing attorney to do things that weren't necessarily in the interest of the persons that have the mental illness. And so to separate that function of what they have created is an oversight board, which reviews the policies and procedures, meets quarterly to review the progress on how many indigent defendants with mental illness are being represented, how are they being represented, is the plan working? And so the purpose of it is really just, as it says, oversight. And so that the judges who are presiding over the cases don't also are separated from the function of oversight, which is a good thing. And so what we have suggested is having one public member, and we've got somebody who's agreed to do it, who's in the Baylor Law School. And then we've got a defense attorney who's not on the appointment list, who can provide input from a defense attorney perspective. We've got somebody from the county, from the Commissioner's Court, which we at this point have designated the judge. And so I think they have the resolution in front of them, Dustin.
Yes, sir. It's in the packet.
So it talks about creating the oversight board, and then the resolution also appoints the initial members of the oversight board. they've got staggered terms, and each one is being appointed for 2 years and 4 years. We staggered them. They can, if it becomes too much for them, obviously they're not getting paid anything to do this, so they can resign at any time if they've got other duties. And then the Commissioners Court would need to appoint their replacement. But all the folks that we have talked to that we've named in the resolution are very invested in seeing that the mental health defendants get proper representation, and they're very excited about serving. So this is just to create that oversight board, and it is a requirement of the grant that we do that. Do y'all have any questions about that I could answer?
Any questions?
Just had one. I guess I agree with the oversight board and the managed assigned counsel program, the way it has been described to the court. I would just like to know, is there going to be a provision for the court to be kept abreast, perhaps, of the actions or activities of this court?
Well, we're planning to do that. There's nothing in this document because the oversight document doesn't say that, but we've already talked to Katie McMullen, who's going to be our managed assigned counsel director, and we are already getting statistics from the jail about the current population, how many are on meds, what are their diagnoses, what's so far what's been the average date of disposition or time of disposition. So we're already planning to capture that information as it is currently, and then one of the things that we are required to do by the grant is file quarterly reports with the Indigent Defense Commission showing those metrics. How quickly are we getting counsel appointed to represent them? How quickly are we getting their cases to court? And probably the best thing for us to do would just be to provide a copy of that same report to the court. But then also what we'll plan to do is Katie and I will plan to meet with the court at least quarterly to go over those reports and kind of show you how things are going.
I think that's a good idea. The court's invested a lot of time and thought and passion into trying to solve this cultural situation that we've got, our social situation we've got in our community. And we need to really understand if we're making headway, which I feel like we can very easily, but we need to know that and see where adjustments may need to be made if necessary.
Right, we will be glad to do that. We're getting, just anecdotally, we're getting cases every single day that demonstrate the need for this. Just very briefly, we were made aware of a case this weekend where a young lady who's 30 years old, living at home with her grandfather who actually adopted her because her parents abandoned her. And she's learning disabled or special needs, and is schizophrenic also, or bipolar. I'm not sure which. I haven't seen the diagnosis, but she had a meltdown. She's also diabetic. Had a meltdown. Police were called. She was taken to the jail. And the problem, and the judge knows this, we're working on that. The problem is there's no crisis center to take these people to. So they either take them to the hospital where they immediately discharge them or take them to jail. So we had to take her to Hewitt Police took her to the jail. She got a $25,000 bond set. She's been there all weekend. Father wants to go pick her up and take her home. But one of the things the magistrates do in a case like that is set an emergency protective order, because the father is actually the victim of the offense. And so the order says that she can't have contact with him. Well, she lives there. He's her guardian for Social Security purposes. She's got nowhere else to go. So we're working, Katie and I are working with the magistrate, with the father, trying to get all this ironed out so that he can take her back. And then we will our plan is to put her on bond conditions so that she comes to see us and we make sure she's medicated and everything's straightened out. And so just to illustrate to you, one of the things that we've done in this grant that will help is we're going to hire the social work caseworker position. That's the person that would be helping us do all of this instead of us having to try to look for housing and look for medication and call the jail and work all that out. So that's a good example of why we're doing this and why we need both positions. And so where we are on that is we're about to post that other position and hire it pretty quickly too. And when we went ahead and appointed her an attorney who is going to be on our mental health caseload attorneys.
So in other words, that's an attorney that has some knowledge and background in dealing with his clients that may have mental health issues.
Right, exactly.
And Commissioner Jones and I are very aware of this, but the one thing you mentioned there that we're lacking is a adequate crisis center. And both of us serve on the behavioral health leadership team. And we're trying to get our arms around how to make that happen. And we've got a very dedicated group of folks from across the medical and judicial side and law enforcement side that are working on that. So, thank you. All right. Is there any other questions? If there's no other questions, is there a motion to authorization of McLennan County Mental Health Managed assigned council program oversight board and board appointments? Is there a motion to approve that?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Fulton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for letting us jump around. We'll head back to the start of the agenda up to D2, discussion and or action regarding resolution requesting creation of county court at law number 3. And Judge, I believe this needs to be deferred.
Yes, that's the effort there was to have something to state representative kind of pre-assign a bill. We still have some work to do with the all the judges here and getting adequate input when everybody's healthy and able to meet. And so that meeting will be set up to have a discussion that, and then we'll bring it back to the court. So I would make a motion that this be deferred.
Second.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Fulton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
All right, moving on to the consent agenda. There are 2 suggested pull items. They are E3A, HR matter for specialty court, and E3B, HR matter for human resources. Are there any other suggested pulls?
I do not believe there's any others. Okay, with the exception of those 2 pulls, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Fulton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, under E3, human resources, under E3A, we have a matter for specialty court. Anna?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So this item is being presented to the court. We're requesting your approval to change some of the details of a position that's under the court-approved grant for the mental health managed assigned counsel program. this, Judge Hodges actually just touched on this item, this program earlier. So when first adopted, this program had two positions outlined in its program details. One is the managing counsel and the other is the case manager position. Originally, it was thought that the partnering agency, MHMR, was going to house the case manager program and that the county would house the managing attorney position. And that was designed in that way because it was thought that only in that way could this case manager have access to MHMR data and systems. That is no longer the case. It was determined that the business associate agreement already in place actually allows for a county employee under the program to have access to that already. So then MHMR housing the case manager position becomes no longer necessary. So it's thought that it'd be best for both positions to be housed under McLennan County rather than one with MHMR and the other with McLennan County. So the request before the court today is first to approve the details of the managing attorney and case manager positions within our pay structure. I've detailed the assigned pay grades that we outlined and also the salary that is in line with the grant itself, and it's been checked by the auditor's office as well, and to have or adopt these positions both as county positions.
Okay. Any questions for Anna? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Fulton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under E3B, under Human Resources, I'd like to hold that to the end of the meeting. May need to go in executive session briefly for that discussion. Okay, Dustin.
All right, moving on to item F, under F1 regarding the FY20 budget. Francis?
Okay. So yes, so starting with F1, we have a few more budget amendments for fiscal year 20. So starting with F1A, this is in the countywide department for our county legal counsel line item. We need a little bit of additional funding there to finish out the year. So you'll see we're increasing it by 15,000 and moving from contingencies. There has been an increase in legal counsel expenses this year. I would say primarily to COVID and legal issues surrounding COVID. F1B, this is for incentive pay for the prior year. If you remember, we budget incentive pay in one line and then spread it to departments after all is said and done. So this is just simply moving it from a countywide line item to all the departments. And then F1C, this is in the law library fund, and this is increasing legal reference materials, again, for the prior fiscal year. I can go ahead and cover F2, A, and B, which is for our current year, fiscal year 21.
Yeah, go ahead.
So F2A, this is general fund. This is for Jack Harwell and Highway 6 jails. The budget amendment is moving funding from the travel reimbursement line at the Highway 6 jail into the travel reimbursement line in the Jack Harwell Center. So this is budgeted. It's just getting those budgeted funds in the correct department. And then F2B, I'm certifying proceeds that we received related to an interlocal agreement with Waco for road and bridge work that was done by Road and Bridge 3. And the total amount of those proceeds is $42,000. And then also attached is a budget amendment request that corresponds to that amount. And the request is to increase capital outlay in the Road and Bridge Precinct 3 department, and then the corresponding increase in the interlocal agreement revenue line item.
Okay, any questions about those? So is there a motion to approve under, regarding the 20 budget, F1A, F1B, F1C, and then also in, regarding the 21 budget, F2A and F2B? Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, under F2C, this is McLennan and Hill Counties, Tawakona Creek Water Improvement District, discussion and or action regarding funding requests for baseline water quality study. We checked with Dr. Lear at the end of the week last week, and he gave us a brief update that he's reached out to the city of Waco, and they are reviewing this, and he's also sent the engineering study on to Freeze and Nichols, who, as a requirement by the state, it needs to be stamped, and so Freeze and Nichols is reviewing it as well. So at this time, we need to defer this item.
Okay, is there a motion to defer?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, under item G, bids, RFPs, RFQs, and quotations. Under G1, we have authorization of recommendation for bid 21-002, truck for Road and Bridge Precinct 2. And I believe, Commissioner, you'd like to defer this. Is that correct?
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to defer.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, under H, contracts. Under H1, we have authorization of agreement renewal with Tyler Technologies regarding the financial software services in Munis. And I believe Lisa is on the line, but this is the renewal of the agreement with Tyler totaling $207,196 for the financial software services in the Munis system. So I don't know if there's any questions for Lisa or any additional info she needs to provide.
I have a question about the what version are we using, and are we updating our version?
Yes, sir. I apologize. I do not have the actual version number in front of me. We are working with our representatives at Tyler to get our latest upgrade in. There's actually 2 grades in progress, one for the overall version and then one for the forms center. And we are working with the related departments to test those forms before we can accept that upgrade into production. So hopefully that will be very soon.
Commissioner, this is David as well. We're on 11.3 currently, and we have been in the process since this past summer of moving over to 2019, which is the more updated versioning of the Tyler. It refreshes pretty much everything, the dashboard look, all of it across the board. The reason why we're not fully there yet, as Lisa mentioned, there's a forms side to it as well that they're having to update for us. They have updated it in 2 of our environments, but they've ran into a few issues throughout. So until we make the complete jump to 2019, we're making sure they work all the bugs out for us.
So are we at the 2011 version now? Is that
well, they previously they didn't use the years. They've only recently started incorporating the year into their versioning. So they were just using just numbers on the version that we're on right now.
So we're going from 11.3 to 19, correct?
It'd be correct. Yes, sir. It'd be 2019 dot. I can get the full number over to you.
and two, Commissioner, I don't think it's as many versions apart as it sounds like. When you say that you're going from version 11 to version 19, as David's saying, they've kind of changed the structure and how they reference that.
When was the last time we upgraded?
It would have been 2.5 years ago. We usually get around 3 years out of our versions in between. And how we've worked it in the past, we don't normally go to the most updated. We do the one just below, just due to the fact that the latest and greatest usually has newer bugs they haven't worked out just yet. So we usually stick just one below.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, is there a motion to approve the agreement renewal?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, under J2, regarding the Cal Bayou Site 10 structural repair project, agreement with Beavers Contracting LLC, authorization of contract invoice and construction progress report. Zane?
Yes, sir. This is the final invoice for repair of the Cal Bayou Site 10 soil conservation dam, and it's been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
And Zane, we got everything taken care of with the landowner, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, we have nothing under K this week, so dropping down to L2 regarding the Coronavirus Relief Fund. L2A is ratification of policy statement for public health and public safety payroll costs. TDEM had issued some new deadlines, as we had discussed in previous court sessions when we visited with BKD. These two items, L2A and L2B, both had to be submitted by November the 13th. That's why we're bringing them forward for ratification. L2A is just a statement that the county is electing to use the accommodation provided that presumes that public health and public safety employees meet that substantially dedicated test provided for by the Treasury. So for this one, we would need the motion to approve the ratification of this policy statement. And then, Judge, do you want me to do L2B now too, or do it separately?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, L2B is ratification of the Coronavirus Relief Fund spending plan form. This is another form that was due at the end of last week, and this just says that we will be showing the expenditure amounts totaling $2,383,865 for county sheriff payroll and related benefits. And when BKD had accessed the TDEM system, it did show us receiving an additional a little over 100,000. Francis may remember the number exactly. There was a city whose money was allocated to the city, and in turn it should have actually came to the county. So we do have some additional funds there as well.
Okay, are there any questions? Is there a motion to approve the ratification under L2A of the policy statement, and the under L2B, the ratification of the CRF spending plan form?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve L2A and L2B.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, under item M, department office specific request. Under M1, this is for the specialty court authorization of cell phone request. Becky?
Yes. Good morning.
Morning.
We have a cell phone request from
Specialty court.
specialty court. This is going to be paid from the Mental Health Managed Assigned Counsel Grant. And the cost of that would be $39.99 a month plus taxes and fees.
Okay. Any questions? No questions. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Thank you.
All right, under item N2, this is regarding the McLennan County Group Health Plan. I don't know if Anna has any updates, but I do know that Herb Bristow and Randy have been working on the summary plan description. I believe it is ready to send on to United Healthcare, and Randy was going to handle getting that passed along to them for their review. So hopefully we'll have it ready by the December 1st agenda to present to the court. Anna, did you have anything else?
Thank you, Dustin. I don't, other than just an update of our 995 benefit eligible employees, all but 21 have logged on to the new system and completed the enrollment steps. So I think that's great participation.
It's a very easy process.
Yes.
Good.
But
Okay.
that's it. Other than that, I don't have any other information or updates.
Okay. And this is not an action item, is that correct?
That's correct. So we can move on to N3, discussion and or action regarding deferring payroll tax obligations. And this is the agenda item we kept deferred for some time.
Okay. Is there a motion to defer?
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, under N4, discussion regarding healthcare plan audit and related engagement agreement with Messier 42 LLC. This was the agreement we brought forward with M42 before. I believe we'll need to defer this today. We've been working with Baylor Scott and White trying to get a cost estimate. It appears there'll be a cost to provide some of this data to M42 for their review, and we're just trying to work through those numbers. Commissioner Jones, did you have anything else on it?
We're just been in contact with Baylor Scott and White, and hopefully we'll have something soon.
Okay, is there a motion to defer?
Motion to defer.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller, Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Passed. Under N5 is authorization of appointment of Heart of Texas Regional Mental Health, Mental Retardation Center Board of Trustees. There's a position that has there's terms up, and after discussion with MHMR as well as other board members, and then also the Rappaport Foundation, who is looking for to try to help find good board members. Dr. Lance Kelly is with the Family Health, and is highly recommended. His resume was included in the package, and I would make a motion that we that the court approve Dr. Kelly to serve in that position, and that replaces Dr. Warren. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Any questions anyone have? We also, before I take a vote, we'll have several more after the first year that we will, that terms are expiring, and so we'll discuss that at that time. All right, we have a motion and a second. If there's no other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. And Dustin, I'll get you next one. Under N6, authorization appointment county representative on the Waco McLennan County Library Commission. The request would be to reappoint Roger Fuller for the Waco McLennan County Library Commission.
I make a motion to appoint Mr. Fuller.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, Dustin.
All right, under item P, the McLennan County Venue Project, under P3, we have authorization of engineering commissioning proposal from HCE Hendricks Consulting Engineers. This is for the HVAC system. This is a proposal from them totaling $32,000 for the commissioning of the HVAC system at the Expo Center. Irwin has this amount in the GMP budget, so there are no funds due from the county at this time. However, this is a contract that the county needs to enter directly into with HCE, and that's why we're bringing it forward to the court.
Well, not the county, but the venue board, correct?
I think the contract, let me look at it real quick in the bookmarked agenda, Judge. I think it's actually with the county.
So it would be like what I was thinking is because the venue board is made up of members of the Commissioners Court.
Yes, I think as the, that's a very good question. I think as with other things at the fairground, with the county ultimately being the owner, venue funds will be used to pay for it, but ultimately the county is the owner of the building, so the contract needs to be with us.
Okay. All right, are there any questions about that? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass.
All right, there's nothing under Q this week, so that gets us down to the work session items. I don't know if there's anything anybody would like to address here, but if not, Judge, I believe we'd be ready for the executive session.
Okay, so at this time, I'd like to go into executive session under 551.074 regarding personnel matters. And I'd like to ask Dustin to stay in the meeting.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. All right, let's call the regular session back into order. It's 10:28. Dustin?
Yes, sir. Going back to item E3B under Human Resources, this is to consider a pay adjustment for the acting HR director.
Okay. We looked at several options in there. One is if Anna was in the position she's in, but yet went to the, what would you call that? It's
Budgeted
position, budget amendment,
Budgeted max.
budgeted max at $68,231, which would be about a $5,000 increase annually beginning today. But we would, within 90 days to 120 days, depending on several factors and what our requirements are on posting, that we would address that and review Anna to see her interest in the position along with any other applicants we might get and act on it at that time. So I would make a motion to go to that $68,231 beginning today. Sure.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion? I mean, I think the only, just, the general discussion is that very impressed with how Anna's doing and how she's grasped that job. She's been very much involved in a lot of the leadership in that department, and want to thank her for that as well. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. All right, is there anything else to come before the court? If not, we stand adjourned.